Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Steven with San Francisco Overland once again. We're inside of our Escapade Topo 2 Voyager trailers just to give you a little bit of a tutorial of some of the electronics that you might find or other amenities within the cabin of the trailer that you might find that you have some questions about. So first, I'm going to start with where your eyes immediately get drawn to. So this is a Cimarine system monitor. For our renters' purposes, this does nothing. There's no adjustments on here that you need to worry about. It is literally just a system monitor for us. You'll notice a couple of switches along here. The top switch is to turn on and off the power inverter so that you have access to the AC outlets such as this one in this compartment. If you're not using your AC, please turn this off or you're at risk of draining your battery. The second is a rotator switch that illuminates the cabin lights up here. It is a dimmer switch as well. So you turn it up or down based on your needs and what you want. The next one down is for exterior lighting. This switch is going to illuminate what they call the porch lights. On each side of the trailer, there's a light just outside the door. This switch operates both lights. There is no option to turn one off or the other. It's either both on or both off. Underneath of that, and the final switch is going to be for the underbody lighting. Turn the switch on, it's going to light up rock lights. Essentially, anybody into overlanding or rock crawling is going to know what rock lights are. If you don't, rock lights are essentially a fancy light that you might put up inside your wheel well that has some high strength to it to be able to illuminate where your wheels and your tires are hitting within off-road trails or say the Rubicon. So again, when you're not using these, it's best just to turn them off so that you don't run a risk of draining a battery down. And you'll notice all the different compartments up above. The one that I like the most is the laptop stand. You'll open up both of these doors, pull this down, and rest on those doors. Now you have a laptop stand. We also keep an extra blanket in here just in case it gets cold at night and you need that extra blanket. This is always something that's available to you. To shut the doors, just shut them. Push the knob in. To open the doors, extend the knob, rotate, open. It's that simple. In this cabinet, you'll see we include a fire extinguisher just in case. Safety always matters. And in this cabinet, we have a couple of goodies in here. So you'll see the red battery cutoff switch back here. It's the same that would be in any marine application or any other RV application. Horizontal, the battery is connected. Swing it vertical, it disconnects the battery. Obviously, we don't want you to rotate that switch, just leave it on throughout your trip. The second is the solar charger. There is no setting in here that needs to be changed or adjusted. It's all fully automatic and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing all the time. It'll also give you a good idea of how many volts the batteries are at currently. Then next to that is the panel that you will have a use for. So this system is a Truma system and it runs your heater, your furnace, and your hot water. It is hot water on demand. So you're going to want to turn that on if you need hot water for washing dishes or say taking a shower. To utilize this system, it is off currently. You'll push in on the round button, that starts the system. The first one that's blinking shows a little RV coach with a thermostat, that's your heater. To select, you push in on the knob. It's off as a standard. To turn it on, you'll notice 40 is where it starts. That's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's your temperature at which it's going to kick the furnace on and start warming up the cabin of the trailer. You rotate the switch clockwise to turn the temperature up. You rotate the switch counterclockwise to turn the temperature down or turn it off as displayed. Once it's back in the off position, so in the morning when you wake up, you can hit the return button and that returns you back to the main screen. If you leave the furnace on, it will run throughout the day and burn up your propane if the temperatures drop. One good thing to keep in mind about these Truma furnaces, they are very efficient. So they were originally designed to power inside of like a 24-foot coach. And obviously we're in a much smaller cabin. So they're extremely efficient within this cabin, which means if you normally set your thermostat at home to say 68 degrees, this, you're gonna wanna set it to more like 58 degrees, maybe 60. Just play with it a little bit to see where your optimal temperature range is, and then go with that. If you turn it up too high, it will run throughout the night because, again, it was originally designed for a 24-foot coach. Not a fault of anybody's, it's just they don't design furnaces for cabins this small. That was the smallest they could come up with. So if you want hot water, you turn it on and you move to this emblem, which is the thermostat in water, thus hot water. Push in on the switch, it's in an off as a default. You will rotate the switch clockwise. You'll find economy, hot, and boost. Again, it's a hot water on-demand system that was originally designed for a 24-foot coach. So just turn it to hot. You don't need the eco, you don't need the boost, just turn it to hot. You're gonna be golden. When you're done, obviously you're gonna wanna go back in here and turn the knob counterclockwise to return it back to the off position. Otherwise, you run the risk of just running through your propane or heating water inside the on-demand tank needlessly. When you get back to that, it returns you to the home screen. You'll see a fan emblem in there. It doesn't run the fan, unfortunately. You'll see a timer in here. You probably won't have a need for that, but it's self-explanatory. And then the clock and settings for our purposes to change some of the settings in the internal system. Again, the bottom emblems you probably won't have a use for. If you do, we can answer those questions at the point in time that you pick the trailer up from us. There is a fan up on top, so if you get too hot, you pull down on the triangle wing knob, turn it counterclockwise to open. It opens the vent lid up on top, and then there's two little push buttons over here. One of them is going to be on, and it'll control your various fan speeds. There are 4 different speeds, and then the other button is just simply off, regardless of the speed that it's on. In inclement weather, you may want to return the vent lid back to its closed position, so you'll rotate the knob clockwise, and then regardless of whether it's up or down, but during travel, you're going to want to lock that knob by pushing it up. Then that way it can't rotate and either close the lid during travel or what have you. There is a queen-sized bed inside the cabin of these trailers. It is a true queen-size bed as opposed to an RV queen. And then the other fine note that I like to mention is this is your furnace outlet here. And where's my other one? Right here. So those are going to be where the hot air comes from. If you take a look at this furnace grate underneath, it's grated as well. So at night, if you come back with cold shoes or boots, you can stuff them into this container, which they call their mud room. And that way, when you wake up in the morning, you have nice warm shoes. On each side, you'll notice we have built-in cell phone chargers and USB ports for those with some of the older phones. So these are the plugless chargers that you just rest your phone on, and inductive chargers that you just rest your phone on to charge your phone. Outside of that, this is all the electronics that you would have a use for inside our Escapade Topo 2 Voyagers. Again, I'm Steven with San Francisco Overland. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we look forward to seeing you out there on the next trip. Take care.